Okay, welcome back. So, last episode we covered post high school and when his panic attacks started, that he can really remember, like the first significant one. We're 6 months into your first panic attack. Not getting any answers. Not getting any answers that would.
I wasn't going to anybody. It was just driving around.
And I guess I'm probably one of the worst people to say this because I grew up with people in the medical field. But
And there wasn't anybody except my one uncle who was a nurse but was not in my life.
But I get that. But if you see a loved one struggling, you open your mouth.
Not when you think they're full of shit.
Well, I get that. But okay, so
I don't even know where they think that I could have came up with that.
But
Like, I didn't even know anybody that had a mental illness. I didn't know anybody that had anxiety. I didn't know anybody that had panic or anything like that. So for me to have been able to
pull that out of the sky.
fake symptoms or just as, there wasn't like the internet where I could go, you know what, I need something. What can I could do that.
I get if you wanted to get out of work for a week or something, but we're talking 6 months.
I was enjoying the money, trust me.
But we're talking 6 months.
I didn't like having to sell the motorcycle and sell my stereo and
That's what I
everything
mean,
else
like-
I had.
Bills are piling up. This isn't, I just don't want to do it anymore. And
I tried, after that period of time from, say July of 93 or 94 to June of 95, I was, doing what I could. I could deliver some pizzas. I could for this pizza shop or that pizza shop, or there was actually there was a guy that had a deal with like a veterinary clinic or a bunch of clinics. And it's kind of sounds shady. Like I'd meet him in a parking lot. He would give me paperwork. I would go to these veterinarian places. The paperwork were the test results. Lab results.
Or were you picking up specimens?
I would pick up the specimens, give them to him. The next time he would give me the lab results to drop off to the people, and they would give me the new specimens. So I did that each night.
So it was like lab requests for pets.
Basically. And there would be it was at night, and that was when I felt, the digestive issues were a lot better at night. They were almost non-existent at night. And I felt a lot better just being out because I always felt that if somebody like could see me,
they would know something was wrong.
That if I was in that state of panic, like somebody's looking at you like, what's wrong with you? Like you're fucked up or whatever. So at night,
Nobody was looking at you.
There's nobody around. And most of the vet clinics, or one of them was Delaware Park, the horses. Mm-hmm. Most of the stuff was closed, and they just had drop boxes. So you just took out whatever was in there and dropped the paperwork in and left. So I didn't have to see anybody. It's like, perfect. So that only lasted like a month or so, and then I don't know, dude ended up, I don't know where he went. He just disappeared one day. But I guess, so literally June of 95, we had to move out. Her and the kids moved with her parents. I moved back in with my mom. That's when I found the luggage delivery job. So for anybody who doesn't know, there's independent contractors, or were before 9/11, that would, when your luggage was delayed or lost, jackasses like me, we would pick it up at a central location and go deliver it to the people's houses. Which, again, I did start off in the mornings, but that didn't last very long at all because it was like traffic, can't do it. Highways, I didn't go on them because of the panic disorder.
Right.
Some of these deliveries were to high-rise buildings. I walked up like 40 flights of steps because I wasn't using the elevator.
Just for the record, he's still like that. He's gotten better, but he would prefer the steps over the elevator.
Yeah, but I mean, there's times where I've, when I was delivering for DoorDash and stuff like that, where, that one, I don't know what that one hotel down in town was, but you go up to the 12th floor and it was fine. 60th floor, something like that, probably not.
He's hitting the 4th floor.
That's when I delivered the luggage in Center City the one time. It was like the 40 whatever floor, and the guy was like, "There's a movie if you want to, literally if you want to watch it, you can see a lot of the stuff that I do now. It's called What About Bob with Bill Murray."
I actually saw that. So my class actually saw that.
Like in the beginning, all that stuff was me at one time or another. Not now, but you see him where they're like, he goes, the elevator's there, and he walks all the way up the steps and then thinks he's going to have a heart attack, and then is like panicking as he does go down the elevator. So, yeah, that was... And I delivered the luggage up, and I walked right back down the steps. Because the guy was like, the elevator's right there. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'll take the stairs. He's like, okay, it's 400 feet. Good luck. So that was the job that I started doing in 95. And then I was at my mom's for 3 months, and then we got an apartment. Same town we were in, different area, much bigger apartment, not that much more money. Again, this was a 2-floor apartment with the 3rd floor was one giant bedroom, and then there was another bedroom, living room, dining room, kitchen, bathroom, all that, and that was like $550 or something like that. And I was, again, I was making actually pretty good money delivering luggage. Like I said, the day stuff ended pretty quick, but luckily they had an opening for starting at 9:00 at night, and then you just delivered whatever you had until you were done, which most of the time you were done by 6, 7 in the morning. But as far as like, the relationship with my brother got strained because he just, before him and my mom stopped talking, he had told her, he's like, he's just being lazy, he doesn't want to work. That kind of stuff like blew me away because I'm like, I've had a job consistently since I was 12, like always. Now, they may have been stupid jobs, but
Still a job.
There's a lot of 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18-year-olds that don't work. And I always had something. Even if I had a job at Denny's for about 2 hours. So anybody that has eaten at Denny's, sorry. But it's funny. Back then, now I had it been, I don't know, you have working papers, so 14, 15, whatever. Right. So they used to have, their dishes were glass, like you could see right through them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you were supposed to carry them in like this cart strapped to you out to the waitress's station, and then like slide them under. And I didn't feel like doing like 5 at a time. So I figured I could carry like 20 with wet hands. So as I walked right out of the kitchen and
Crash.
hit the floor, yeah, they all went out. It looked like a windshield shattered on the floor. And the manager like freaked out. I just took the apron off and I'm like, you send a check to my house. And he's like, you ain't getting paid. I'm like, now I'm going home. Next day I went out and found a busboy job down at a nice restaurant down by the river.
So your brother didn't get it. He chose not to.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably the same as everybody else in the, the reason that I don't like male doctors. To walk it off.
Some of them, yeah. I mean,
if you give me a preference, I'd rather have a female physician. I don't care what field it is. Nah, yeah, I don't think there's a field where I would go, yeah, I'm uncomfortable having a female.
and I'm the opposite. I'd rather have a male doctor.
Yeah, I'm just more comfortable. Like, my primary care is female. My eye doctor is female. Allergist. My hematologist was. They got switched, but trying to think. Yeah, like going back over, like I just learned that male doctors, for the most part, I just want to slap.
Well, I think it has a lot to do with what they're treating. I tend to like male doctors more because they tend to listen to me more. People usually say, well,
it must be an opposite sex thing, because when I have a male doctor, it sounds like they can't get out of the room fast enough.
so you were with me with one doctor who I think he was out of the room and the thing was still on my knee. But so typically, look at what I'm going through now. Male doctor, very on top of it, very.
Yeah, I'm not saying I never had any good interactions with male doctors, but I just feel more comfortable, and I just think women are a little bit more understanding and compassionate when it comes to those kinds of things than
Mental
men.
health, yes. It's funny, I tell everybody, GYNs, I see a male over a female any day of the week. A female's not compassionate at all in that area. They go through it. They don't care.
Maybe urology, I wouldn't want a woman. I don't know. Just for the whole. Well, maybe wanting a guy just made me sound. I don't know. I don't want either, to be honest with you. I'd rather just skip the urology.
There's not many female urologists. Well, there's many female, what's called gyneurology. Both male and females can see them, but urology flat out, it's usually mostly men. And I'm guessing that's mainly because women don't feel like staring at penises all day. I could be wrong, but because it's usually not like younger males, it's usually older men's, but okay, we're going to move on from that. But
this is just getting creepy.
But I understand the male doctor. And if you look at it, most mental health providers are females. There's a handful of males out there, especially now. Most of them are,
yeah, most, I would, by my experience, I would say 80%
are female
or higher are female.
I also think,
and again, I think that goes back to the, whether it's, if you believe in evolution or society or whatever, they're more predisposed to that nurturing, and they're a little more, when you get hurt, your dad, like, you're good. Where your mom's like, oh, wipe that off, get some peroxide, get a Band-Aid. Okay, you okay? All right, you're good. Here, have a cookie. Your dad's like, shut up and get back to work.
that's because you're a guy.
But again, that's women are that way and men aren't. Now, no, I'm not saying, I was the same way with my girls.
You told them to get over it.
They fell off their bike. I skinned my knee. I don't give a shit. Get back on your bike.
So
you're fine. You're not going to die. You might
you
get an
didn't have
infection.
any boys though, so you had to treat them. You had to make them be a hard ass.
Well, I mean, the first one was, she was a hard ass.
But
like athlete, hard ass, and even my youngest was an athlete. I wouldn't say was a hard ass like my oldest, but the oldest was, would kick your ass and,
that doesn't mean but to treat them like a boy, like, so in my situation, I have two siblings that are males. My dad would, I'll give you an example. Post-op, doing therapy, the wall slides, familiar? You take your foot and you have to slide it down a certain amount of space after knee surgery. We would mark the wall where I did it last time. Well, I was doing it once and the tears started. It was horrible. My mom's like, push it. You got this. And my dad's like, she's had enough. She's done. He helped me up, got me to the couch. She's like, leave her alone. I think it depends the child that you're dealing with. Men usually cater a little more to females than they do male children.
Yeah, but I mean, you could also have, again, I had two girls that I treated differently because I knew I could push one and I couldn't push the other one. And I don't mean in a negative way. I mean in a competitive, like, I can, you can go harder. Where the other one,
not so much.
Saying that is, they're going to shut down. One need a kick in the ass, the other one needed a pat on the back.
Yeah.
And
maybe
guys are the same way, but they, aren't treated the same way.
Right.
They're all treated, they all need a kick in the ass, and that's not the case.
Right. I agree. I think back then, we're talking again, mid-90s. I don't think people are ready to deal with the fact that there are men that weren't in the military but have these things going on, because we can't pinpoint why you're dealing with this. Military, it was easy. You fought in combat. Boom, there's the excuse. But somebody who wasn't, why? Why did this happen?
Yeah, because you're a man. You're supposed to be strong. You're supposed to be tough. You're supposed to, you go to work sick.
Unless you had the man flu. Oh, horrible.
You push through whatever's bothering you, and you don't talk about it. Guys don't talk to their friends or family about depression or anxiety or being stressed out. They didn't then, and I don't know now. I think
it's much more
because
open.
I've isolated myself from humans, except for yourself and a couple of other people.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things why we wanted to start doing this is, not to quote Jelly Roll, but it's okay not to be okay.
I personally hate that term.
But okay?
No, it's okay to not be okay.
No, that's
a catchphrase, and I don't like it.
But it is. It's you're not weaker because you're going through this.
I'm not saying I'm weaker.
That's what he means. Like, okay, you're dealing with something. It's okay that you're dealing with it. It's better than not dealing with it and doing something else.
Yes, but I'm just saying that like, I don't like it when there's just catchphrases for certain things that hang around and then move on to the next thing. Like, they have to change the names of everything. It used to be suicide. Now it's self-harm. And
whoa, no. Self-harm and suicide are two totally different things.
Okay, unalive.
No, that's unalive is when somebody does it to you.
These episodes will get flagged because you say certain keywords and YouTube will block the video.
But self-harm is cutting. Self-harm is doing things like
But
that.
that term didn't exist when I was growing up.
Mutilation did, but you didn't do it to yourself. And people that did back in the 70s, they were sent to mental hospitals and forgot about.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know anybody.
Right. So, I
And
mean,
again, we're probably going right back to the same thing where if it did happen in a family, they didn't talk about it.
Correct.
You did ship your one loved one or whoever off to what they called the nut house, and they were never seen again.
So,
And everybody went, where did Aunt Susie go? She's on vacation.
living with a family member now. Yeah.
She retired to, Boca Raton or wherever, and nobody ever sees her again
So,
because she was eating pillows or something.
yeah, I think people need to understand that everyone deals with something. Whoever you are, there's something that you're always dealing with. Does that mean yours is any less serious than somebody else's?
In 2026, no. In 1993, yes.
Was it less? Or do people just not know how to approach it?
No, there was a stigma. You didn't talk about it.
Right.
You weren't supposed to have it.
But
What are you stressed about? You're a white male. What are you worried?
I think you're missing what I'm saying. So you have panic disorder. You have another male over here that has it. Is yours any more severe than his is?
Well, to me, yeah, mine's more severe because I'm the one
Dealing
through
with it. Right. But if you get into...
But no, technically...
And I think that's it. And what's the difference if it's a male or a female?
To me, there was no difference.
Right.
And I talked about it right from the beginning, and I just got shut down because I told people how I felt, and I just got shut down. So it got to the point where, okay.
By your family and your loved ones.
Right. So I'm not going to, why bother? So I'm not, okay, I'm a lazy prick. Fine. If that's where we're going with this, then so be it. I'm done talking about it.
And ironically, speaking about one family member, their children all had other things going on. But because it wasn't strictly emotional, it was different. Your one family member, children had things going on.
My brother.
Yes. I didn't want to put it out there, but...
Okay. Yeah. I mean...
Why is that so different? Because you can physically see that and you can't see yours?
Yes.
Okay, that's...
And you know that.
And I completely disagree with it.
Oh, yeah. That I understand. But I'm saying, yes, people can see somebody who's on chemo. Somebody can see somebody who's in a wheelchair or an amputee or... was in a fire or, a horrible accident. When I'm sitting here right now, if somebody's watching, they can't tell.
Okay.
You can't tell. Now, if you know me, you specifically, or my mom, you knew when something was wrong.
Oh, yeah.
You know instantly that you can tell sometimes before I do that, hey, why don't we head home?
Yeah.
Or you want to head back to the car? Are you okay? You're all right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. But you can sense that I'm starting to, there's certain telltale signs that I will give off that I'm starting to get stressed or nervous or anxious or whatever.
So...
But as far as, where were we, 95, 96?
96.
Yeah, I don't think I started talking to anybody yet.
What made you start?
That I don't remember either. Like, I got to really think about it because I'm like,
Could it have been to continue your medicine? You had to go talk to somebody?
no. I'm trying to think of who my doctor was at that time. It wasn't the one in Chester anymore. I was long gone.
Were you seeing the one in Seacane?
It may have been.
Mm.
But it wasn't him. It was somebody else
No,
there, I
yeah.
think. But I got referred to this place, which I have no idea how it stayed open for as long as it did. Saul, you go and you see the psychiatrist or psychologist, whoever can prescribe medicine. And they do like a 45-minute interview. Intake, whatever it is. Which you ain't learning shit in 45 minutes.
No. Well,
anybody can walk in there and tell you anything. And at that time, they would write you a script.
so back then, yeah, but now it's usually they're looking for the telltales. Oh, sorry, the telltale signs of.
Yeah, good luck.
Are you twitching? Are you?
Good luck with that now.
Yeah, I mean, there are.
Even if you're legitimate, you may not get it.
Yeah, there are telltale signs of when they're like, yeah, I don't think so.
So they tried me on. So she's like, the Xanax for emergencies, and you need to work, you need to live. So I don't have a problem with that. And back then it wasn't the huge deal that it is now. But she was like, we need to try something that would be long term, and you can possibly get off of, get away from the Xanax and, not be on it long term. So we started like Buspar.
Okay.
I pretty much had the same results with all of them. Like, just horribly sick.
How long did you stay on them for?
Not very long.
So you didn't make it past the 14-day threshold?
No.
So, and I just want to...
And they would pull me off because of, like, the symptoms. It wasn't just, I feel like crap. It was, like, they tried to Zoloft. I was like paralyzed on the couch and everything was yellow. Like, I'm just laying there, I can't move, everything's yellow. And ex-wife at the time, or wife at the time, called the ER and it said, it sounds like you had too high of a dose.
Right.
It's not going to hurt you. It's just got to wear off. You'll be fine. And I'm like, says the person who's not dealing with it. Effexor, Buspar, Zoloft, Neurontin, which...
Why did they have you on Neurontin?
I don't know. It's like an anti-seizure medication or something.
No.
Or epileptic or something.
No, it's Neurontin's for nerve pain. Neurontin's gabapentin.
You're asking the wrong person.
Yeah, I don't know why. Unless they were figuring it would put you in a zone so you wouldn't think about it. But that doesn't treat anything.
I have a feeling because they just figured there's no point in trying any more of the Buspar, Effexor, Zoloft. There was a couple others that I can't even remember what they... I think there was one that started with a W.
Wellbutrin.
Is that a...
Yeah.
Antidepressant?
Yeah. It's also commonly known as Zyban to help people quit smoking.
I don't have that problem. So eventually, which is what drives doctors nuts today, is I would say so this was 96, we can jump ahead almost 4 years, they prescribed me Klonopin, which is another benzodiazepine, the same family as Xanax, for anybody that doesn't know.
It's the same family, but it
Works totally different.
yeah, works totally different. And a lot of times, yes, you've been on Xanax for an extremely long period of time. Usually, the Klonopin, once you hit therapeutic level, they're able to wean you off the Xanax because you're even keeled. I don't think you ever, back then, I don't think you were hitting that even keeled area.
It never got monitored correctly. It was, they started me on 2 milligrams a day, like one in the morning, one at night. And I told them the one at night, I got to work. It was making me drowsy because I had just started taking it. Doesn't have that effect anymore. I mean, it's like taking a vitamin. I don't feel anything. I think it may help. I think it helped up to a point, and now I could probably just like wean off of it and wouldn't notice a difference. I don't think. I don't know. But it dropped it down to 1.5, and that's what I've been on since like 2000. So
26 years.
Yeah, I've been on the same amount. I've not up, no extra pills, no higher milligram, nothing. I actually dropped down. The Xanax had gotten up to 0.5, 90 a month, then came down to 60, and I'm now at 45.
But how often are you actually taking them on a regular basis?
I could go 2 weeks without taking any, and then I could have a period of a week where I'm taking them every day.
Okay. So now
I would rather not. Like, if I don't have to, like the Klonopin, they're, okay, are there long-term side effects, neurological and all that? Probably. I don't know.
I don't know if you're on a strong enough dose for it, though.
Anything that's, that kind of crappy chemicals in your body isn't
Correct.
over a long period of time is probably not good.
But
I'm just saying I don't feel any side effects hours after taking a Klonopin. If I take a Xanax or two, I will feel, I will become relaxed. But then when I'm out of that situation or whatever,
you're wiped.
I'm falling asleep. And then when I wake up, I feel like crap. Like
the hungover effect.
Yeah, you're groggy, you're foggy. It takes like an hour or so before it's like, hey, I feel good again. But while I'm doing something, I'm perfectly fine.
So we're at 2004, you said?
Well, I jumped to 2000 from 96.
Was there significant issues between 96 and 2004?
2000?
2000?
96 and 2000. 2000 is when I started the Klonopin.
Okay, so 96 and 2000.
No, things had gotten a lot better. I was, my oldest daughter was, she was 6, so they weren't involved in sports. The other one was 3. I would say by 99 is when my oldest got involved in sports, and that's when I got pulled in, like, hey, you want to coach? And because I had played some soccer, so I was on as like a coach, and then started helping out with this and getting involved in town and stuff like that. But 96, 97, 98.
How was things with the...
That was just work. I just worked 7 days a week, and...
How was things at home?
The usual crap, fighting over money, and it's,
All right, so
if you're working from, you leave at 9 and you come home at 6 in the morning, you get home at 6 in the morning, and you've been driving since, the truck would bring the luggage in by 10. You had to be there at 9. They bring it in by 10. You sort it out. You're out of there by 11. So you're usually home by like 6, 7 in the morning on an average night. And I did that 7 nights a week. So when you walk in the door at 6 o'clock and everybody's still asleep and the sink's got dishes in it and there's like a plate of food on the table and there's clothes on the floor,
and I just want to make this clear. She did not work.
no,
Okay.
and like the TV's on, it's like there's a bunch of lights on, and it's like I'm not, I shouldn't have to do this. So that started a lot of fights, a lot of stuff that went to the point of it never got physical, but a lot of shit got broke.
I know he's not going to want to hear this, but I'm going to say it anyway. That seems like like making a pattern, or not making a pattern, but it seems like a pattern in the family.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, somebody would probably say it's learned behavior.
Yeah, that's what yeah, because like you saw him do it, so you do it.
Yeah, I just, it was, she knew how to push buttons. And I'm not saying I'm blameless in any of it, but, I just felt that, I'm keeping a roof over your head and the lights on. You don't have to keep the lights on all the time. You could do the dishes. You could clean up before you go to bed. It's not that big of a deal. Like, your crappy show will be on again tomorrow. You had cable. They'll rerun it.
I get what you're saying.
Or at least get up in the morning and do it.
Okay.
I would get home, I'm not doing it. I'm going to sleep because I'm probably going to do something with the girls, or we're going to go food shop, whatever, when I get up before I have to go back to work. And then I get up and the stuff's still there. So then here comes the fight. And then it would be, the classic money,
That I don't get, though. She was capable of working, correct?
Well, okay, that's one area where I'll say yes, but with my situation, and people are going to be like, what? I couldn't be home with the girls by myself.
I didn't say you had to be home with the girls.
I'm just saying, if she goes to work, if she's working during the day and I'm at home, I'm not going to be able to sleep because I know they're there.
Your oldest daughter's already in school.
Not,
yes, you said she was 6.
Actually, not 96 because she didn't. Yeah, she went that year. She turned 5. She didn't. We waited until the next year, so yeah, 96 she was in.
So, and I'm not trying to be sarcastic when I say this, but you would have fell below the threshold. Your youngest daughter could have went to Head Start. Hindsight now, but I'm saying, if she wanted to step up.
I don't know of any other. I didn't know of any of those programs back then, and there wasn't anybody that was going to watch them. My mom worked full time.
Right. We'll just leave it at that.
Somebody else's mom didn't and wasn't going to do anything. So
But there were if there was a program for her to get free money, she would have found out how to do it. That's what I'm saying. Like, she could have stepped up and that's where it comes back to the support system.
Again, it's easy to sit here now and look back and go, could have did this,
Right.
and this. But if you don't know about all that stuff, then you can't do it. And I didn't. And I'm going to take the blame too because I didn't I didn't know any of that stuff.
But it
And to leave a 3-year-old with me and with the panic disorder, like that wasn't going to happen.
no, that I get.
Like anytime she left the house, the kids went with her.
That I get. Like that I understand. But
And people were always like, he can't be alone with his own kids. It's like, no, that's how bad it is. I feel trapped. The minute I feel trapped, I'm going to panic.
right.
I panic, I'm leaving. Guess what's happening to those kids? If I can get them in the car fast enough, they'll go with me. If not, well, I guess they're going to be in the house by themselves. And that's a shitty thing to say, but
But you're aware of that, so you can have stuff in place so it doesn't happen.
it never happened.
Right.
It didn't happen once, but again, food shopping, I dropped her and the kids off. They would call me when they're done. I go back because I couldn't go through with the food shopping and all. Like the standing in line didn't happen. Wasn't doing it. Couldn't do it.
All right, so we're at 96. How's 97 for you?
No, I would say 96, 97, 98 were all pretty much the same.
Okay.
You
So
know, just delivering. I didn't, like I said, I didn't know anybody in town at that point. I would still, you know, before I would go to work, I would go up to pizza shop and hang out for a little bit every now and then, bullshit with Dino, and then go to work. 99 is when things started changing, as you know, for a period of time for the better, because my oldest got involved in sports. So I got involved. That started to, me being there, and now, hey, you want to assistant coach? Okay. I don't know. Okay. And so it kind of forced me to do things that I normally wouldn't. Like, yeah, I'm not doing that. Like, wasn't a whole lot of responsibility. It wasn't at that time. And then from there, I went to basketball, and a guy that I became friends with, his daughter played. So Christine, you know, for her age, she was tall. So she started playing. That's my oldest. And then softball a little bit, but she wasn't into that. And I did it because it was hanging around the guys, and it was something to do
right.
when between getting up and going to work. So that went on, and the youngest, she started playing basketball at like 5, no, 6. She was 6. They had this little it was called the Pit.
Mm-hmm.
It was this gymnasium that used to be a swimming pool that they turned into this little basketball court. It was more like a training thing. So she got involved in that. We ended up joining the swim club, and, home and school, and got involved in a lot of stuff. 2001, obviously 9/11 happens.
Right.
Now, I'm trying to think if I was in therapy at that time. I was. It was weekly, talking to a counselor or therapist, whatever they're called now. And But that was stalling and going into like almost like marriage counseling instead of I'm like I ain't here for that. I don't mean to be selfish or this may sound selfish. I'm here for me.
Right. You need to find out what's going on with you before you can help anything else.
Yeah, like if this is going on, I don't care what's going on in a marriage. It's not going to help. Like
Right.
there's still going to be a problem.
Right.
So 2001, 9/11 happens. I wasn't there. I don't know anybody that was there. You know, obviously affected by just what happened and, you know, all of that. But I'd say for a month or two, we got real busy. And then the government put restrictions on the airlines that your bags had to be on your plane, even though nothing happened with anybody's baggage.
Right.
So literally, work went from, you know, 10 to 12 deliveries a night to two, like in 2 months,
Wow.
like that quick. So literally by the beginning of 2002, it was almost non existent. It was like two of us showing up and fighting over one bag. Like, who's going to get the $12 bag and take it out to Westchester or, you know, Kennett Square? And then, you know, that's also when the agoraphobia started around that time.
Okay.
So money issues started. Doing the deliveries started to become a problem because I don't know what you want to call it, safe zone started to shrink. I started with a lot of what if thinking. What if the car breaks down? What if I'm stuck in Maryland or Delaware or, you know, Lancaster or, you know.
Okay. I think I want to stop there. That's what I want to start getting into next. That what if thinking, and if we can figure out what triggered it or how you coped with it or didn't cope with it, whatever the case may be.
Right.
All right.
Yep.
So we will be back for another episode. If you guys are interested in what you are hearing, please feel free to subscribe. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comment section. We'll go through them and answer them as best as possible. All right. We'll be back shortly.